Robinson.
Again, the back pick takes place almost that time.
O'Neal brings it up. He's open.
He told us yesterday he loves to play guard, to bring it down, show people that he can cross over like Tim Hardaway. He can do what Michael can do, and he showed us everything that time on that drive and dunk.
9 points for the rookie O'Neal. Oh, he has made the Orlando Magic indeed. Robinson, star from the U.S. Naval Academy, showing he can hit inside and outside. Larry Nance answers at the other end.
Hasn't he gotten better with age?
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. Just playing his best basketball.
Yes. Playing unbelievable this season.
Basketball, one of his 2 loves, Larry Nance. Robinson. The other being drag racing, has his own dragster.
Well, let's go back to the big point guard. I thought Magic was a big point guard, but wait a minute. When this guy gets a hold of it and decides that he wants to lead the fast break, I don't know what we're going to do with the NBA. He gives it up, and then he keeps on running. And Larry Nance was nice. He waited for the big guy to get underneath and gave it right back to him for the score.
Wearing the right number, too. 32, Magic.
That's right. All right. There you go. He's also got the right contract, $40 million. He's doing it all.
That's not even scratching the endorsement page, is it?
You got that right.
Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley are back in. East by 2, 46-44. Jordan, stolen by Hardaway and fouled by Jordan.
I think we should point out to the fans where here on this play, you see Tim Hardaway. They come over for a pick and roll, and Tim just darts in on Michael. He wasn't expecting Tim to dart in on him and defense, and then he ends up with the steal and grabs him. But Michael is not really, he doesn't want to pick and roll. He'd rather for the spread the court, get it where he can take the man. So right now, it's too many people in his way.
And you can bet as soon as someone does that, takes the ball from Jordan, he's going to brace himself to do something special. The pride in this athlete, if you're going to scale it 0 to 10, I don't know how high above 10 you can put Jordan's pride.
Oh, that's why he's in a class by himself. Just put it like that.
Tim Hardaway, a point away from tying it up for the West. Warriors, one of the disappointing teams thus far in 92-93, but only 4 back of the Clippers for the 8th spot in the West.
Kind of forget that the Warriors won 57 games a year ago, but really hit with injuries.
Yeah.
Owen's out, Malone doesn't come back till late, and now with Chris Malone out also, they've had their problems.
Jordan. Shrimp touched it last, so it's the West going the other way. Calvin Murphy on his way to the Hall of Fame. Congratulations, the 5'9" star. Did he play big? Walt Bellamy, the big bell, goes in as well this year. Dick McGuire, John Wooden. Tied at 46 with 3:45 to go in the half. Barkley moving Shrimp back. Kemp can't jam the rebound, and it's Shrimp the other way. Isaiah Thomas to O'Neal, and denied. Kemp and Robinson sandwiching the Shaq.
Sean Kemp almost got the crowd off their seats by trying to follow this one back up. Couldn't quite get control. But coming off the timeout, this was planned. Spin, throw it up in the air, I'll go get it, Isaiah. Shaq just can't convert.
Well, on most players, Sean Kemp would have knocked that away. But he couldn't knock it away from Shaquille because he's so strong. He took Sean Kemp with him and still had an attempt at the basket.
O'Neal still working on his free throw stroke. He's shooting just under 59% for the year as Kemp goes out. But if O'Neal makes this one, Shaq will be the leading scorer in the East with 10.
Matt, isn't it true that so many rookies come in the league and struggle from the foul line during their first season?
No question about it, because I struggled myself at about 72 or 4%.
Dominique Wilkins, okay, shot at 68% his first season from the foul line. Eventually, then an 80% shooter year after year. So it just
why is that, Mike? Why?
It could be, I don't know, maybe a little bit of nervousness out there on the floor for the rookie.
Jordan started this, and Isaiah throws it off the backboard blindly. Porter to Hardaway. And the West leads by 1.
I know one thing that contribute to a lot of missed field goals, free throws as a rookie, is the fact that you never shot that many or played that many games and you retired.
Barkley to Robinson. A Sun to a Spur. And it's 50-47 West.
Also, Magic, so many of the rookies don't really get a chance to come in and start, so they're either coming off the bench when they're cold, when they get fouled, they're not really, into the game yet. So that's another factor as far as why they, don't shoot as well in that first year.
Pippen to Shaq. Boy, he shows great hands to just catch that ball, and then it takes a mighty bump from Barkley to deny. And here's the quick feet of a 303-pound, 20-year-old athlete, Shaquille O'Neal. Now, Bill Walton, who knows a little bit about playing down in the hole, has analyzed the half of Shaq. Professor Walton will offer his report card at halftime and will be allowed into the West locker room. Paul Westphal will let us eavesdrop on what he says to his team. I'm sure it'll be a dynamic halftime pep talk. A Newt Rockney here in this All-Star Classic.
I tell you what, Bill Walton's pretty tough giving grades out.
Real tough, so watch out.
Manning unable to handle the pass.
We should point out here that neither John Stockton or Karl Malone has played in the second quarter, so maybe Paul Westphal is looking for them to play a lot in the second half to get this crowd going and try to win the game.
Robinson with a rebound. Here comes the West, leading by 2, 50-48. Porter, Hardaway, Robinson, Barkley, and Manning for the West. Jordan, Pippen, 2 Bulls on the floor with O'Neal, Nance, and Isaiah. Robinson banks in another. David Robinson, 13 points to lead all scores.
And just to clarify that, I don't think he's made a mistake. I think this is a strategy by Paul Westphal to do this because he wants the crowd on his side going in that third, fourth quarter, especially the fourth quarter.
Porter hawking Michael. And the foul. Back to Paul Westphal. I asked him, what worries you most about coaching in this game? He said, I hope I'm brave enough to have Stockton and Malone on the bench at the same time. Well, he's shown that, but I think, Magic, you hit on a very key point, that he also would like to see them do well in front of this Delta Center crowd. We might see a lot of them in the second half. There's Westphal, 5 times an All-Star. He was a #1 draft pick out of the University of Southern California, as Pat Riley was a #1 draft pick out of Kentucky.
Well, Paul Westphal taught me a valuable lesson. He was one of the 3 players that taught me that I couldn't play defense in the NBA as a rookie. I went up against World Beat 3 my first game. He had 46. Paul Westphal came around the next game. He had 38, and George Gervin had 40 the third game.
Bring on Magic Johnson. I kind of like this young guy from Michigan State.
I called my dad. I said, Dad, it's going to be a long season in the NBA for me.
And I guess that's probably pretty true, isn't it? That's the defense adjustment that is tougher rather than the offense for a star coming out of college.
Yes, it's for all of us. Even Shaquille is having a hard time.
Terry Porter, who was one of those away from winning the prize last night in the shootout against Mark Price. And that is a big lead for the West as this game is seesaw 55-50. A minute and a second to go.
There's been a lot of knockaways down up under the hoop when a power player has gotten it. Some guard has always gone down there and knocked the ball out of his hand before you can get it up.
Jordan. Fall. And it's Danny Manning scrabbling with Larry Johnson. Barkley waiting for Manning to break, and he said, that's right, you're with the Clippers.
Oops, my fault. I forgot. That's what Charles was telling me. My fault.
Thomas actually passing off the backboard. He was trying to pass to Shaquille on the carom. Hardaway to Barkley. He can't hit. Thomas, a straight down court. Robinson. Jordan. Manning with 18 seconds to go in the half. And the West leading by 5. Jordan gets the foul.
Let's go back a second ago. Charles Barkley is looking to the middle of the floor, but he knows that his teammate's going to go, except Charles thinks he's going to continue to go to the basket, but instead, his teammate Manning pulls up short, the ball goes out of bounds.
And you know what? Looking at that, that was a good decision by Childs, thinking that he was going to go all the way because there was no defense back there.
Hey, wait a minute. Carl Lewis couldn't have got there that fast where that pass was headed. Hardaway at the line.
We won't talk about Mr. Lewis as far as on that national anthem. Did you see that?
No, I missed that, but I noticed you didn't stop laughing for a couple of weeks.
Oh,
I'm
man.
going to have to get the tape.
Yes. You have to see that one.
Tim Hardaway with a deuce, and it's 57-50 for the West. 8 points for Hardaway. And he goes after Isaiah Thomas.
Well, he thought he had to steal, and there are two, probably the greatest ball handlers that's ever played this game.
Wait a minute. These two, Hardaway and Isaiah Thomas, you're taking yourself out of there?
Well, I'm a different type of ball handler. I'm a straight up. You know, Tim Hardaway got his crossover dribble from Isaiah. Isaiah is probably the best ball handler I've ever seen in my life. He puts on clinics in the summer. He can really put a show on for campers around the country. And I'm sure that Tim will tell you that a lot of his skills came from watching Isaiah.
Well, Larry Johnson saving the second miss from Isaiah, and Shaq has 13. Last shot of the half. Tipped in. Oh, what a play. Danny Manning. That's the most spectacular of the spectacular of the first half. Manning at the final second, guiding that one home. All right, Bob, they took away the basket by Manning, and it was a tough call, Mike Fratello.
At first, the officials said good, then they said it was no good. The area to look is right in here. There's a red light that's supposed to help the official. If it was touched by Manning before the light went off, then the basket should count. Touched, light goes off, count that basket.
But officially, it does not count, and the score then is 57-52. Temple Square, the Mormon temple in the background. This is the place, Brigham Young said. Salt Lake City, Utah. And it's the place today for the best in basketball, the world's best. 57-52, the West leading the East as we start the second half.
Let's see if the East gets the forwards a little bit more involved between Pippen and Johnson. Just 2 points in the first half.
Isaiah on the drive. 57-54, 6 points for the Detroit Piston veteran.
Well, that was a good throw. Inside, outside, back in, and back out. And Isaiah decided to take it down the lane because this man had double teamed the postman.
Both teams shot 50% in the first half. Elijah Wan to Drexler. Drexler, Elijah Wan, Karl Malone, Stockton, and Barkley. Barkley makes the deflection. Pippen, Shaq, Isaiah, Johnson, and Michael Jordan for the East. Michael. Elijah Wan loses it to Shaq. Oh, give and go. Jordan and Shaquille. And a foul. He really is worn for a 20-year-old youngster. He's worn all the acclaim, I think, very well, Magic.
Yes, he has. And, you know, here you see offensive rebound by Shaq. And he got fouled. But he really has. You know, he's so mature, and he's having so much fun. He hasn't let all this fanfare get him down. Good. That was a good jump shot right there by Isaiah, shooting over the smaller John Stockton.
Isaiah with a couple of baskets to pull the East within one, and Stockton looking for Barkley. And it's Pippen beating everyone down court. And to follow, Larry Johnson of the Charlotte Hornets, his first points.
Larry Grandmama Johnson.
Keeping that Johnson name going. That's 1 of 7 left in the NBA. Surname Johnson since Magic retired. At 22nd timeout.
Looked like Scotty might have heard a few footsteps here, thinking that Charles might be going up for the blocks. He just kind of lays it up there, gets out of the way, and lets Larry follow.
Well, I tell you, you know, in all the All-Star games that I played in, the big men really didn't get involved because it was a fast-paced game. And the reason the big men are involved today is because the pace is slower. And when the pace is slower, that means big men tend to take over, and there's a lot of set plays. So if the pace does not pick up, you can look for Shaquille and the other big men to really have big games here.
Well, at halftime, what a difference between the front lines. 27-15, the West front line outscoring the East front line.
Karl Malone with his power move. Mailman gives the West the lead, 59-58. He has 14 points. Oh, nice piece of dribbling by Thomas. That's what you said you admired so much, Magic.
Well, I told you that Tim Hardaway got his crossover from Isaiah, and Isaiah just proved me right. He did a crossover move right there on John Stockton that just, he thought he was going to his left, and he went to his right. Great move.
Pippen short on the tray attempt. Olajuwon. What a year he's having in Houston. Stockton, the no-look to Drexler, and then Drexler knocks it away from Pippen. Barry Sanders, a Detroit Lions running star, Oklahoma State. West by 1, 9:36 left in the third, and Michael Jordan with an easy 2.
He just left 3 defensive guys standing still. The one that got picked off on the screen, the other 2 that tried to stop him on that move.
Well, here it is right here. Pick and roll. Crossover on you. I'm going to the left switch. Oh, what can you say? Michael Jordan at his best. This is the kind of game that he loved to play. And here he comes again. Michael Jordan back-to-back hoops. Uh-oh, he might make my prediction right. He's warming up.
He's got 15 to lead all scorers. Stockton inside to Barkley, knocked away by You Bet. And then Jordan to Pippen. Back to Pippen. Jordan sitting out in three-point range, but elected to go back to Pippen. 12 on the clock. To O'Neal, and it's Olajuwon with a steal. 2-on-1. The Jazz. Stockton to Malone, and a foul.
Magic, you know what happened? Michael Jordan's been lobbing to Bill Cartwright. He didn't realize that with the Shaq. You can get it way up in the air. Michael doing a little work at the defensive end, just tippy toes and stays inbound so he can get that break going for the East team.
Karl Malone's first free throw. He's not accustomed to going to the line for the first time in the second half. He has more than 100 more attempts than anyone else in the league again this year.
You know, the thing about Michael is that he's even beautiful to watch when he's playing defense. And most guys are not good to watch when you're playing defense.
Magic, what does Karl Malone say to himself just before he shoots the free throw? He's got a little something. Has anybody ever found out what it is? He won't tell, but he's got a little saying he does. There it is. He didn't whisper in your ear, did he?
I think he's rehearsing his lines. You know, he's going to be a movie star. He's involved in a couple of movies. One that's going to premiere here tomorrow night in Salt Lake City.
Well, that's what the NBA has gotten to now. You can get involved in other things besides basketball if you're a great player.
Olajuwon with a block. Marley on the run.
Beautiful up and under move. Beautiful move.
And the West back in front by 1. Marley on Thomas. Jordan getting away from Stockton. That's a mismatch. And it's blocked by Marley. Stockton surprising Olajuwon. It goes to Malone. Shaq bringing it up. All the way. And he is fouled.
Well, let's go back a moment ago to the block by Hakeem under the basket, which led to the easy score. No easy ones, which will lead to fast break scoring opportunities for your man, Dan Marley, in with the score on the reverse.
Shaquille O'Neal, 5 for 8 today, and you don't see Jordan rejected often.
But just good help defense that time by Dan Marley. You know, he's one of those players that just give you a little bit of everything. And
yeah, statistically, you look at the numbers of the 24 players in this game, he probably has the least impressive statistics, but you don't measure hustle and defense and the numbers that are sent out by the league each week.
Well, he's not here because of his stats. He's here because of his hustle and what he gives the team.
Stockton to Barkley. In fact, as Barkley makes that, Westfall said that Barkley fits in with the team because of guys on the Suns like Marley, and he said tough guys, Mark West, Marley, Barkley, they understand Charles' style.
Exactly. And, you know, they let him beat Charles Barkley. But also, if he gets out of hand, you got veterans like Danny Ainge who can bring him back to say, look, Charles, come on now. You haven't won any championships. Danny can say, I won a couple.
That was Olajuwon's first points. And now Olajuwon trying to defend O'Neal, and Malone comes over, and Pippen with a rebound.
And a slam dunk to tell him, look, you may have blocked O'Neal's, but don't try to block mine.
Yeah, so all the veteran guys look like they want to get a little piece of this rookie every time he tries to go up and throw one down.
Yeah.
Stockton to his buddy Malone, and a reach-in foul on Pippen. That was quite a sequence at the other end.
Well, it looks like after the fake, he's going to step through and dunk it, but the mailman says, nope, not now, rookie.
Pippen says, maybe it's my time.
Oh, yeah.
Across the universe, people are asking, what fiend would steal Air Jordans?
Oh, goody! More Air Jordans for me.
Pebble Beach.
This is no way for a Pampered superstar to travel.
What the shoes?
And they're all mine.
Give me those Air Jordans.
No,
Yes,
no,
yes,
no,
yes,
no,
no,
yes, no, yes, no. Take these or else.
Squirrel.
Saved by a clever edit. Things seem bleak for our heroes. Wait, a giant pencil with an equally giant eraser. I smell trouble. I smell popcorn.
Is that better popcorn?
Eat it while it's hot.
Eat it while it's better.
Our heroes have made the world safe for truth, justice.
And Mike's royalty checks from Nike.
That's all, folks.
That's my client's line. It says so in my deal.
Jeez, what a pig.
Create your own business.
Man, can he deliver a line?
Oh, man, he was sensational.
From mailman to Undertaker.
That's the best acting I've seen with a non-speaking role.
Well, you know, he says his movie idol is Clint Eastwood. I think he's working on that Eastwood look.
Yes.
The mailman, 16 points to lead all scores. Going after his second MVP. Wide open here in the middle of the third period for the individual honor. 6.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Barkley with the West leading by 2, now by 3.
You know, Charles made an interesting statement. He said, you know, everybody says I'm having an MVP type year, but I've been having these type of years for a long time, but I've just been on losing teams. Now everybody recognizes me because I'm on a winning team.
Undoubted how he would fit in out in Phoenix football, as he erased all of those negative thoughts. Thomas away from Stockton, trying to set up O'Neal. Knocked away by Olajuwon. Pippen back to intercept. Central Arkansas. Larry Johnson from UNLV. Pippen seems to be in the right spot at the right time too often for defenses around the NBA.
Well, I think right now that the East is trying to force feed Shaquille a little bit too much right now.
Malone on the pass from Stockton, and he is fouled.
That's that old 1-2 punch, that Utah 1-2 punch. Well, right here, this is the old Utah play. They were going to cross screen for the mailman, but what happened was the defensive man turned his back to John Stockton. He just high lobbed, easy 2.
Now the man who leads the All-Star Classic career in assists is sitting next to me, Magic Johnson, but Stockton has 12 already today, and just as he is going after all your marks in the regular season, so is he in this All-Star game, as O'Neal is resting.
Like I say, he's going to get most of them, if not all of them, and that's just a tribute to him. You know, really nice move right there by Larry Johnson to spin into the lane. And the West coming right back.
Marley. Under 9, Dan Marley, and he has 9 points. Dominique. Ewing back in, keeps it alive for the East. And Malone has it knocked away.
Just a second ago, Stockton knew Isaiah was back there cheating a little bit to Isaiah's right, so he goes to Isaiah's left, picks out Marley on the fly for the conversion.
5:11 left in the third.
I tell you, that damn Marley gonna be the most famous Chippewa here soon. He's gonna beat you out.
Lay off now. Give you a break. Here comes Ewing for the East. The East trailing the West by 5. By 3 is Ewing.
Beautiful pass by Michael Jordan. Just beautiful.
5 points for Pat Ewing. Sean Elliott.
As we can see right now, the pace have picked up, so you get more better plays, more action plays. Now the crowd is back in it.
Johnson against Malone. Thomas double team. Jordan, what a move. He went with a one-handed fake, kept the ball, and Elliott responded as if he were on the string.
Well, he makes you turn your head by putting it over, and then this would have been a terrific dunk at the end if he could have just controlled the basketball. Even Sean Elliott has to laugh at that. Yes. Michael got him.
Say, why you tricked me, Michael?
Jordan hanging, and then Johnson, they're not looking for the pass. Jordan saves it. Ewing with 10. Inside, Jordan. And he is fouled by Elijah.
After all that, Michael had an easy layup. He can't believe it. He's laughing. He can't believe how open he was underneath. You don't get many of these opportunities, and when it's Michael getting it, you just don't expect him to miss the layup.
Love the story. His dad told us the All-Star game a year ago. Michael Jordan's dad said, you know, it might have been baseball. He was a terrific shortstop. You can imagine he could play that position. He said, but he grew so fast as a freshman, between his freshman and sophomore years in high school, that his uniform looked bad on him. It was way up to his knees, his trousers. And he said, I can't look like that and play this game. And so basketball is blessed by the fast growth of Michael Jordan.
Well, not only is basketball, but we as basketball players, myself, former basketball player, as well as the fans, to witness the greatest player that ever played this game, and with flair and excitement.
Elijah partially blocked by Ewing. Here comes Jordan. The East with the ball down by 4. Jordan. It just won't fall for Michael. Dominique. And Stockton fires to the other end to Marley. 2 Eastern players back, so Elliott slows it up. And traveling the call is some good defense by the East.
Little give-and-go basketball that time by Elliott. Passing the post, cut without it. Jordan makes the move, splits the defenders, finds the seam, gets in there, gives you a little showtime, and then just at the end, can't make it fall through.
Ewing to Isaiah and handcuffed Thomas, but out of bounds to the East. Well, another local hero, the NFL's most valuable player, Steve Young of the 49ers, former All-America and BYU. In attendance, makes his home in Park City and in Provo. Stockton out to a hand from the locals. Price is in and hits a 3 on his first shot of the second half, a 1-point game.
3-point champion. He is the 3-point best shooter. He proved that last night, huh?
And the league's best free throw shooter. The mailman over Nance. East with a chance for the lead. Jordan to Ewing. Knocked away by Elijah. Ooh, Porter hit his. Price went in for the steal. Elliott to Marley, and Marley was too far underneath, and the foul.
Just a few moments ago, something that's very familiar to Michael. Draw the defense, kick to an open teammate. Normally it's John Paxson. Now it's Mark Price.
And a young man who started for Crispus Attucks High School in Indianapolis. They won the state title.
Well, right now, I have the I am the leader of the triple doubles in the NBA. But if they had been keeping him back when Oscar was playing, no doubt he would be the leader. And matter of fact, he taught all of us how to get a triple double.
The whole season he averaged a triple double.
No question about it. So, and a high triple double too.
Great player. Yes. 78-75 as Elliott hits a pair for the West. 2 minutes plus remaining in the third quarter. There have been 11 lead changes. Oh, Larry Nance up to bat home the rebound.
Can you believe this guy is what, 36 or 5?
Well, wait a minute, he's only 34 now.
34? I can't believe it that he's playing this well at 34 years of age.
How good are the Cavaliers? 3 All-Stars in this game. Malone can't connect. Robinson fights, and it's Dominique the other way.
But they're one of 3 teams in the East who have a real chance of going to the championship.
Marley steals the pass from Jordan to Malone. He was in the right postal code for that one. 21 to lead all scorers for Karl Malone.
That's what's so tough about Karl. Not only can he score inside, but he also can get out on the break and score points that way. And that's unheard of at a power forward spot.
Yeah, we're talking about Shaq and his size, how he moves. Malone, for that big body, really can motor. Nance with the left hand. Jordan in for the rebound and is fouled.
Well, what you want is a little bit of action down inside. Ewing thinks he's got enough space to get the shot off. He gets a little bit of rim, but Larry Nance with the follow.
Says he's looking for a sponsor, Nance, for that dragster of his, a 68 Camaro. Catch 22, he calls it, and he says, you know, when I retire, I'm going to drive. I said, come on, you really want to do that? He said, I'll build a seat, cockpit for me. I'm going to be a drag racer.
I wonder what his wife is going to say about that.
2-point lead for the West team in white. Terry Porter of Portland against Mark Price of Cleveland.
And that's what it came down to last night, and Terry couldn't hit, 2 shots out of the last 5 balls.
Porter to Robinson. Malone battling Robinson for possession, and it's Marley with a loose ball. To Porter.
See, that's what Marley can do for you.
3-pointer for Price, and he gets the tray in a hurry. 82-81.
Heads up by Michael Jordan. Got out of bounds quickly, fired the ball down the floor. Caught Price behind the 3-point line for 3.
38 seconds left in this third quarter, and a foul as Malone takes it to the hole. Boomer Esiason, left-hander from Cincinnati. For whom will he be playing in the NFL next year? No hints there.
No hints.
Maybe Utah's going to pick him.
Yeah, but he's voting for Patrick Ewing right there. Yeah. That's his guy on his sweatshirt. You know, we should mention right now that most of the players want to bring their wives and families. Patrick Ewing's wife, Rita, had to stay home. She recently graduated from Georgetown Law School and is studying for a bar exam that she's taking this week, and Patrick wanted to wish her well in the exam coming up.
And that's wonderful. And good luck from all of us, too.
Georgetown close to your heart. Your daughter, Christy.
You know, Christy happens to go there, yeah.
Can you imagine if Patrick make as much money as he's making, and now his wife can negotiate all his contracts now?
Malone leading all scorers now with 23, and Price with his 3rd tray. Ties it at 84.
I tell you, as far as the point guard, in terms of a pure point guard, now John Stockton is probably the best in the game right now. But as far as a point guard that can do everything, Mark Price has to be the best in it.
2-second difference in the game and shot clocks. Great pass, no look by Porter. And Robinson gives the West the lead. 3 seconds left. Last shot of the quarter by Dumars, and he just misses.
Trying to make it happen off the 2-man game. Well, this is a different kind. It's dribble penetration, which leads to the dump-off pass, the conversion by David Robinson.
Meanwhile, the Jazz fans rooting for John Stockton and Karl Malone, and Malone leads all in scoring with 23. The East against the West. The 43rd All-Star game continues after these messages and a word from your local station. Welcome back to the Delta Center. Dick Enberg with Mike Fratello, Magic Johnson, Ahmad Rashad, Snapper Jones with us on the sidelines as we go to the fourth quarter. A 2-point game. The West in front. The East, Pat Riley has 5 reserves out there. Price, Dumars, Ewing, Dominique, and Nance. Danny Manning, David Robinson, Porter, Barkley with the ball, and Hardaway for the West. Barkley not there, and here comes the East with a chance to tie. Mark Price played 3 minutes in the third quarter and was 3 for 3 from 3-point range. Wilkins with a flash, and it just won't fall. Robinson to Porter. Well, good job by Porter to elude Mark Price.
Dick, you made me chuckle a little bit a second ago. You said the East has, Pat Riley has 5 reserves out there. Not bad reserves out on the floor.
You got that right.
What else do you call them, though? That's a tough part of describing a game of this sort. 88-84 as Dumars pumps. Barkley rebounds. Manning to Robinson, and he's fouled by Ewing.
First of all, it was an excellent defense by Patrick Ewing to hustle back and knock it away. And then Danny Manning retrieves it and fires it right quick, right back to Robinson. And of course, he gets fouled.
The Admiral, actually a first lieutenant, part of that 24-4 run of the San Antonio Spurs under Coach John Lucas. That's been one of the big stories of this season.
Yeah, well, you know, they believe in John. They also respect John, and they plan hard for him, and that makes all the difference. That being John Lucas.
Price, Wilkins. Back to Price for 2.
It was too short. That's why he missed it.
Wilkins to Nance.
Shot wasn't long enough for him.
Good move by Nance, and draws the foul.
You know, they had the ball around the basket a couple times, and each time they looked up, they saw David Robinson hanging around there, had second thoughts about it.
Yeah, that intimidation by the shot blocker, Robinson.
Now here comes Brad Daugherty just checked in, so you know Pat Riley is definitely going to go with Shaquille down the stretch to try to win this game.
89-85, the 7th point for Larry Nance. There's Pat Riley, just 2 all-star coaching appearances behind the all-time leader, Red Auerbach, with 11. And Westfall in his first year as head coach at Phoenix.
Yeah, and I think, too, that, you know, after everything Pat Riley had said, he was just really saying that about Patrick Ewing in terms of defending his players. And I think he was also talking about being a veteran, too.
Nice company on that list.
Very nice.
Arnold Red Auerbach. He's here for the All-Star weekend.
And what makes it even more interesting is Pat Riley really didn't want to be here. You know, he only got it because Phil Jackson can't go 2 times in a row because of the NBA rule.
Riley rule. That's the Riley rule.
Yeah, the Riley rule. And he'd rather have been in Malibu on the beach, relaxing at his home there.
Yeah, it goes back to the fact that the trainers rotate who has the honor of being the trainer for the All-Star game each year. The coaches for years said we should do the same thing, but they never voted it in, and Riley kept on going for the West. Barkley backing them down to a spot where he feels comfortable, but to go back to the Riley situation, Riley gets out of coaching for a year. They voted in that you won't do it. What happens, he winds up in the East, and now he's the All-Star coach again.
Well, you can see the wear and tear of the season on his face, though, can't you?
Yeah,
tough life.
Yeah, because he puts his heart and soul into it. He wants to win so bad, not only for himself and the team, but for New York, the city of New York, all Knick fans.
Porter on the run with Robinson, and what a play by Price. The little guy back defending on a 2-1 break. Hardaway to Robinson. That one won't be stopped.
Imagine, Mark Price was thinking about diving for that loose ball, and just before he left his feet, he noticed it was Charles Barkley that was chasing it down. He thought twice about it.
That's right. I could end up on the injured reserve list challenging Charles Barkley. Nice move.
Daugherty ends the Eastern drought. They'd missed the last 6. 6 points for Daugherty from Black Mountain, North Carolina. Hardaway misses on the drive. Shrimp clears it out to Price. Price to Dominique inside. Boy, this won't fall for Dominique Wilkins.
He's having a tough time. The shots are right there. Instead of rolling in, they're rolling out for him.
Plus, you have to remember he's getting challenged by David Robinson.
Dominique is 1 for 10, and Danny Manning much better than that for the West. He has 10 points. 6-point lead for the West with 8.5 to go. Good pass by Doherty, who is a terrific passer for a center. In fact, leads the league in assists by center.
Well, talk about all these block shots. You wouldn't expect Mark Price to be the guy to get up there, way up, Mark, and take that potential lob away from David Robinson. And then you want a little action at the end of the fast break? Well, give it to...
Well, while all the action is here at the Delta Center, the former home of the Utah Jazz, these are the fans who couldn't get tickets. They're watching this telecast on large screen television, and this, of course, the side of the whole jam session this weekend. And young and old, they've had a great time here in Utah, and that shows their love for this game and, of course, this special weekend.
You know, you mentioned that you had an opportunity to go over there and have your own broadcast tape made, but you even had a chance to have your own all-star card made up. And Magic, I'll give you one of my cards later on.
Well, please autograph it.
That'll take it from 25 cents to 30, I would think.
Why would you do that?
Well, I'll get a card. I'm just, you know, maybe I am jealous. Dominique Wilkins, your former player. You certainly, best of all, can appreciate his enormous talent, Mike.
The fact that he could come back from the torn Achilles tendon the way he did at the beginning of the season, then he winds up breaking his hand and then comes back from the broken hand and has played superb basketball. Talk about warriors. That guy shows up, loves to play the game of basketball. He'd play every night. Rather, you know, maybe let somebody practice, just give me more games.
Hardaway with 10 and stolen by the East. It's Mark Price. And it's Wilkins who is the recipient of all that work. 95-93. And now it's starting to get serious. 8 minutes to go.
This is it now. This is the time where it's when this game is either going to be won or lost right here. Everybody's going to get serious and play even harder.
Robinson over Shrimp and a foul.
What they did is they rewarded Dominique for the hustle. He's actually the one who steps up and starts this play happening. Price decides he's going to give it up to Dumars, but Dumars knows that it was Neek who started it also. We'll let Neek catch up and finish it off.
18 points for David Robinson. And he's 4 for 7 from the line. Wilkins given a breather. Scottie Pippen back in for the East. Michael Jordan still on the bench for the East, and the Utah tandem of Stockton and Malone still resting for the West. Joe Dumars. And the foul by Dumars. Oh, that Hardaway is so quick and clever. The two-step, I think they call that down in El Paso.
Well, it was a crossover in front first, and then a crossover between his legs, watching front, between his legs, and go right by him. Joe said, I'm not going to let you embarrass me. I would rather foul you.
He gave it to him both ways. One from the front, one from behind.
Yes.
Facially, almost looks like somewhat of a junior Charles Barkley, Tim Hardaway. He was 7 for 7 from the line today.
He's so strong. You know, he's so low to the ground as well in terms of his center of gravity. So when he cross over, he's really moving forward when he cross over. Like myself, I had to cross over. I'm still standing straight up. Then I had to take a step.
Take my picture, and then I'll move.
Yes.
Scottie Pippen holds the East within 3. It's 98-95 with 7:23 left in the fourth quarter. This be headed for overtime. There have been 4 in All-Star history. A 3-pointer for Porter. Pippen to Price. Dumars He wanted to go to some help, and there was none there.
I think he actually saw Danny Manning cutting down the lane, and for a second thought that that was going to be a flashing teammate of his. Manning was trying to cut off the man opposite on the low box, instead the turnover.
The roar in the background, as you can see, Karl Malone stripping off his jacket. He has 23. That's still more than anyone in this game. Hardaway for three, and that's a big basket. Sends the West up 101-95.
Well, the crowd was cheering because also they know that he's in line for that MVP award. They want him to get it.
Mark Price, he's 4 for 4 from three-point range in this half.
And he's also on that list of candidates for the MVP. He's brought them back.
All of his points on trays, 12 for Price. Barkley, a power move, and then the pass to Manning.
Nice cut, nice pass, nice cut.
A dozen for Manning, who is 6 for 6 from the floor. His first All-Star game. Oh, Brad Daugherty with that little soft jump hook.
You know, he doesn't do anything spectacular, just everything good. It's just rebounds, he's a great passer, you know, but he's not going to do anything fancy.
Pippen and Barkley, a little bump and shove inside, and here they are matched. 7 on the shot clock for Porter. Jamming his way in, no whistle, and Dumars picks it off. Here comes the East down by 3. Price, can he tie it? Yes!
Talk about looking across the floor. Those Chicago players know to look across the floor because it's Paxson they usually find during the regular season.
But I think they'd rather have Mr. Price. He has a little bit deeper range.
Game tied for the 9th time, and Barkley unties it.
You're seeing some excellent passing by big people on the inside, which is great to see.
2-point game with 5:14 left.
Across the universe, people are asking, what fiend would steal Air Jordans?
Oh, goody. More Air Jordans for me.
Pebble Beach.
There's just no way for a Pampa superstar to travel.
What the shoes?
And they're all mine.
Give me those Air Jordans.
No, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, no, yes, no, yes, no. Take these or else.
Saved by a clever edit. Things seem bleak for our heroes. Wait, a giant pencil with an equally giant eraser. I smell trouble. I smell popcorn.
Is that better popcorn?
Eat it while it's hot.
Get it while it's butter.
Our heroes have made the world safe for truth, justice.
And Mike's royalty checks from Nike.
That's all, folks.
That's my client's line. It says so in my deal.
Jeez, what a cake.
Barkley at the line with a 2-point West lead. Lanham says he's only 6'4". Do you think he's taller than that?
No. 6'4", 6'5", that's it.
3-point game. Price draws the foul. Stockton back in, as is Malone for the West.
Tough call right now for Pat Riley in substitutions because Price is playing so well. You have Michael sitting on the bench. You want to get Michael back in the game for the final minutes down the stretch. And then the big decision, who's coming out on the floor in that center spot? Is it going to be O'Neal? Is it going to be Patrick Ewing? You wind up playing them both together on the floor.
Well, not only that, but Brad Daugherty right now is playing very well. He's hit, what, 3 hook shots in a row. And this team out here is playing well as a unit. So do you mess with that unit, or do you come back with the so-called starters that the fans have voted in? But, hey, here comes Patrick Ewing. Wow.
Stockton against Price. Barkley from outside. Elijah Wan, and Shrimp is able to tie him up. A good play by Detlef Shrimp.
Now, let me ask you a question. Why would you say, wow, that it's Patrick Ewing? You know him, Pat Riley. What's going to happen at the end of a game if Riley's got some guys on the All-Star team?
And Michael Jordan coming right back. I knew that he was going to go to Ewing, but I just said, wow, just to please you.
Barkley for the West. West for Hardaway. So here's the lineup now. It's Olajuwon, Malone, Barkley, Stockton, and Marley. Schrempf, Price, Jordan, Doherty, and Pippen for the East.
I should point out that one year
Malone fouled by Schrempf.
When Pat Riley was the coach, he came into the locker room, and we were at the All-Star game. I can't remember what year, but he told everybody, if the game gets close down to the fourth quarter, I'm going with all my guys. So, you know, the game got close. He went with myself, Kareem, and I think it was Jamal then. And we ended up pulling that game out. But every time down, he called a Laker play, and none of the other two guys who were non-Lakers didn't know what we were doing and what they were supposed to do.
That was the fist play.
Yes, the old fist play. That's Kareem play.
Get the ball to the big guy. Malone hits 1 of 2, 107-104. Karl Malone with 24 points to lead all scorers, but no sense to win the MVP as Pippen. Ewing rebounds. Jordan. Great pass by Price. Jordan for 3. No, he'll try the 2 and is fouled by Olajuwon. Who are the top candidates, gentlemen, for the MVP if you had to vote?
Well, if I'm going to go with, talk about the Eastern squad, you have to consider Michael Jordan, Mark Price for what he's done here, and off his early performance, Shaq was up there, but maybe fading a little bit here in the second half.
Right, and then on the West side, you got Karl Malone and David Robinson. And both of those guys have played very well.
And with the 4:22 left, it may come down to the man who makes the winning shot. Jordan pulls the East within 1. Stockton over Price, and it was Pippen who came out to challenge as well. The East down court looking for their first lead here in the fourth quarter. Pippen over Olajuwon, and it's Barkley breaking out with Marley. Jordan to beat, and Jordan fouls him.
Pippen seemed like he tried to find a little extra lift right at the end. He knew that the big fella was coming over to try and block it. He hung just a little bit long, got a little extra ups on it, but just couldn't send it down.
And you know what happened was that Hakeem jumped right in his path in terms right in his face, so he couldn't dunk it over him because his hand, Hakeem's hand was right there. So Scotty had to hold it. And when he held it that 1 second, it was just too far for him to dunk over.
With Barkley missing the free throw, it winds up being a good foul then by Michael Jordan to prevent the easy layup.
Barkley looking for his 12th point. And a 2-point West lead, 108-106 with just under 4 minutes to go. Now Riley up off that stool. Now he's pacing the sideline, so it's serious indeed.
It's winning time.
Malone comes out on Jordan. Jordan way short, and that pleases the Utah crowd. For 3. 12 for Barkley. Phoenix fans have seen him do that all season long. Timeout, Pat Riley.
Well, you have 2 Phoenix Suns playing together. Dan Marley knew that Charles Barkley was going to kick it to him. He just got his feet together, and you know what it is. Good.
Spot up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my.
NBA Commissioner David Stern. Or this game is testimony to how serious his teams play. I mean, the athletes here today played very hard. This isn't the usual all-star, let's just have a good time game type action. They played hard. Coaches have worked it hard, and it comes down to a 3-point margin. West leading East 111-108. Foul before the shot.
And then give both coaches as well as the players a lot of credit for coming out here and playing as hard as they've played, because they put it all on the line, and all of them know that they have the second half of the season to look forward to too, and they put it all out here this afternoon.
Stockton's 4th point. Well, unfortunately, because they have to tally the votes, they ask for the press to vote on the MVP and have it in by 3 minutes left. So it is now 3 minutes to go. So if somebody has a dramatic final 3 minutes to win this game, it won't be taken into account. Jordan draws the foul from Marley.
And right now, to this 3 minutes and what the score is right now, you almost have to say it's Karl Malone, especially if the West ends up winning this game. But like you said, if the East comes back and wins the game, then Mark Price becomes a big factor.
Jordan hits the free throw, and interestingly, Shaq O'Neal has played only 6 minutes the second half, as Pat Riley has used O'Neal a total of 20 minutes in the game at this point.
Well, I think he's just saying, well, these guys, I'm going to play these guys. They probably deserve it because what they've done over the past years. And you're going to have 17, 18 All-Star games, Shaq, so don't you worry about it.
3-point lead for the West. 2:40 to go. Malone and Ewing. And the rebound, Isaiah Thomas. Here comes the East. Great pass to Pippen, and it's knocked away by Karl Malone. He saved 2.
Are you surprised that as well as Mark Price played, that he's on the bench now, Isaiah's back in?
Well, he's probably tired right now, and he needs a breather. He's been in there a long time.
Jordan, pick and roll to Doherty, and rebound by Olajuwon. 2:20 to go.
Okay, right here I would go to Karl Malone. If I was John Stockton, just keep going, force feeding it in there to him. He's played very well.
Olajuwon was 7. Barkley. And Pippen steals it. And Pippen shoots. Jordan up the back of Barkley, and that's a big back to climb. And the foul on Michael.
I'm not quite sure that Scottie Pippen really wanted to do that. I think initially Pippen wanted to, after they come up with the basketball, Pippen wanted to cross the ball over to the left side of the floor. But what happens is he doesn't see the angle. Michael tries to follow, has to go over a few people's backs, but so what? It's Michael. He should be allowed to.
But the only reason he got that foul is he lost the ball once he came down. And because bodies went flying, that really wasn't a foul. It was after he lost it, then they decided to call a foul. Because how can you push Charles Barkley to the floor? Michael Jordan.
Shaq O'Neal getting ready to report. 1:54 left. Barkley looking for his 13th point. A 4-point West advantage.
The only thing I can say to Shaq, Dick, is that all rookies have been through this. Myself, Michael Jordan, Isaiah, we've all started, but we all were limited in our minutes because of veterans who, you know, deservingly so should get a lot of time in All-Star games because they've been there so many times.
And to talk to this young man, he's going to handle this perfectly. He understands. I have not met a rookie who's come in and had the presence that this young man has. It was a long, bright career ahead for him.
Exactly.
Ewing gets away with a walk, and not the second. And timeout called by the West with the ball and the lead. 1:14-110. A minute 40 seconds to go. Wish you were here. Bird and Johnson. Well, Magic's here, but not in uniform. We're glad he's with us. And it's a rare time a Celtic and a Laker are not in the All-Star game. It's never happened before. There's always been usually both, but one or the other represented.
And I don't think it'll happen again. Both franchises are great franchises.
Reggie Lewis, many thought he should have been.
No question about it. But both franchises are down right now, but they'll be back.
Stockton to Barkley to Malone. Olajuwon might have gotten away with a push. Or was it Barkley?
Looks like it's Patrick Ewing.
Ah, Barkley with a look on his face of, did I do it? Number 33.
First Patrick gave me that. Me? And then he goes, yeah, it was you.
Sends Olajuwon to the line. And now Hakeem has not had a great all-star game, but what a tremendous. Has anyone played better, any superstar in this league played better to this point with so little publicity than Olajuwon?
No, he's done it. And you know what? He hasn't worried about that contract situation or the owner argument that they had last season. He's played over all that and just having a tremendous season.
115, 110, time running out. 70 seconds to go. 75. Jordan banks one home. It's a three-point game.
Wait, this guy's used to big finishes in this building, isn't he?
Yes.
23 for number 23. Olajuwon stripped to the ball by Isaiah.
Now, you don't need a three right now, do you, Magic, necessarily?
No, you don't need a three. You have plenty of time to get a deuce, come back down and play good defense again.
Marley hawking Jordan. Rebound Malone to Marley. Whoa, almost a mistake by the West, and it's Malone inside, and they love that in Salt Lake. And that shot, folks, had MVP written all over it.
It's a matter of slipping it inside Michael before he can get the swipe, and you're on your way to MVP. Well, if Pat Riley should decide he wants to go for the three-pointer here, he might take a quick two off the dribble. But you have Mark Price, who's 8th best in the league behind the three-point line, and Dumars is on the bench, who's 13th best.
Price is 5 for 7 and hits the three. What a game for him. And the foul by Jordan on Marley to stop the clock. 1:17, 1:15, just under 26 seconds to go. 5th foul on Michael.
This was set up off the out-of-bounds play. A double screen to free up Mark Price. He catches it. He squares up. Bottom of the net.
It's almost too bad that you can't give out 2 MVPs. It's just like last season, last year's game. That Clyde Drexler could have been the MVP as well. It's a shame. And this year, same thing could happen.
Marley misses. So even if he makes the second shot, the East is a three-pointer away from a tie.
Now, Michael is over there talking to Pat Riley, and what they're talking about is whether or not they should bring it up and try and go for a shot in transition, or whether they want to take a timeout and advance the basketball.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting call to see what he actually wants to do here.
I think he'll take the timeout and advance it.
Marley gives the West a three-point lead, and indeed Riley has called time and to set up a play with 25.9 seconds left.
This guy must have been a coach Mike Fratello.
Well, I'm smart enough to know that if this works the first time that we see right there, let's call a timeout. Riley likes it. That's why he took that timeout. Right. He wants to set it up again.
Did you see that body language? Oh, okay, good.
Now, do you bring in Joe Dumars, who's been sitting there cold, knowing that he is an outstanding three-point shooter, or do you leave the guys on the floor? You know, Isaiah's made big shots throughout his career. Michael certainly has made a number of big threes, as we witnessed on NBC last year in the championship series. So what happens right now?
Knowing Pat Riley, I don't think he's going to go for a three. I think he's going to...
If I could interrupt a moment just to tell folks what we have
you got to do
next Sunday, because we're going to see Riley again in the first game as his Knicks go against Chuck Daly's Nets. That should be a dandy. And then following the first game, we'll have San Antonio and Orlando. They tipped it off at the start today. David Robinson, Shaquille O'Neal. It's the first time they've ever met, and they go for real next Sunday in Orlando. Shaquille O'Neal and David Robinson.
And the fans will get the chance to see Shaquille play about 40 minutes.
He was going to say about Riley not going for the three.
I don't think, knowing Coach Riley like I do, in a situation like this, he likes to fake like he's going for the three, get a quick two, foul again, and keep making it, make the East, the West, make free throws. So
put the pressure on the basket.
Exactly.
But you only got so many timeouts now. You use them all up. It's too late.
Yeah, you're right.
Just under 2-second difference now with 24-second clock and the game clock. And here comes Danny Manning in. A late move by Paul Westphal as he's going to defend the inbounds pass by Pippen. Getting it in.
Well, a little bit of confusion there. Was it going to be a 5-second call, or were they going to give the timeout to the East before the 5-second violation took place? Pat Riley's laughing because he's the guy who was calling the timeout.
Well, the referees are going to be lenient toward that. They want the dramatics of this game. They don't want to. Why would you call 5 seconds? You want some dramatic, some. You know, you don't know what's going to happen at the end of the game.
You don't think the officials know what the score is in the game, do you?
In this game, yes. In a regular season game, no.
That's close. Just officiate the game.
Well, the East has one timeout left. Paul Westphal with a couple.
It's all about drama right now. This is wonderful. I love it. What's going to happen?
Well, Westphal, much calmer in demeanor. And that's how he played. Riley, a more fiery competitor. He learned that from Chick Hearn, did Pat Riley, because that's how he really started his career as an announcer with Chick Hearn. And, of course, Chick told him all you'd want to know about coaching.
Exactly. Well, who did he learn to dress from?
He is a bon vivant.
West is taking the man off the ball. Watch for Pippen stepping back in for a shot after he passes it back.
Right into Jordan. The quick shot, and he makes it. That's your call, Magic.
Yes.
And
yes.
now let's see about the quick foul.
Yes.
Timeout West.
See, Coach Riley knew that, hey, let's get a quick two because they're going to play us for the three. And he's always been known for that ever since he's been coaching, since I've known him.
You know, the only problem is, though, you have to have somebody that can make a shot in that kind of situation. You think you put the ball in the right guy's hands?
Of course.
How many is that for Michael Jordan? 25, I believe. That would give him, I believe, the lead, at least for the East.
What you have is a lot of stuff. That's what Riley's looking at. See, he's fouling. He's ready to foul right away. Tell the guys, get up, find your man. In the meantime, the West is trying to take a timeout and decide now what they're going to do with the basketball. Do you take it out on the baseline where you have more room and it's easier to get in and they're allowed to run the baseline, or do you advance it to half court where they must be stationary and it's tougher to get it in?
Well, the timeout well taken by Westphal to get his free throw shooting team on the floor.
If I was the East, I would let Terry Porter have it. He's the guy who's the coldest of all of them, and try to make him make the free throw because he just came off the bench.
They got a big man Pippen on the basketball right now, trying to take away that long touchdown pass, trying to cause him problems getting it in.
Into Porter, and all alone is Hardaway. What a play by Price. He committed the foul. It looked as if he might have gotten the ball.
A nice play that time by the Western team. They passed the ball from out of bounds to out of bounds, ran some stuff on the floor, and sent the man long right away after the initial out of bounds pass.
Mark Price, he has played so very well today.
He's disgusted right there because he got back cut on that first pass that went from out of bounds to out of bounds. Price turned his head for a second, didn't figure his man was going to take off and go long, and that's what happened.
Hardaway has not missed, as you can see, 8 for 8 from the line.
Now, I don't think they're going to call a timeout. If he makes this, it's only a 2-point game. I think he's going to get in transition, let Michael go one-on-one instead of let a set defense play against him, and that being Pat Riley for the East.
Well, that's fine if the ball can wind up in Michael Jordan's hands. But if it winds up in somebody else's hands and Dan Marley doesn't allow Michael Jordan to catch the basketball, then who do you go to?
Well, right now, Isaiah Thomas is letting the officials know that they want a timeout no matter what happens.
So it's a 2-point game, 119-117, with 16.7 seconds left. The East with the ball, 2 to tie, and possible overtime.
Across the universe, people are asking, what fiend would steal Air Jordans?
Oh, goody. More Air Jordans for me.
Pebble Beach.
This is no way for a Pampa superstar to travel.
What the? Shoes?
And they're all mine.
Give me those Air Jordans.
No,
Yes,
no,
yes,
no,
yes,
no,
no,
yes, no, yes, no. Take these or else.
The squirrel team.
Saved by a clever edit. Things seem bleak for our heroes. Wait, a giant pencil with an equally giant eraser. I smell trouble. I smell popcorn.
You got better popcorn?
Eat it while it's hot.
Get it while it's butter.
Our heroes have made the world safe for truth, justice.
And Mike's royalty tips from Nike.
That's all, folks.
That's my client's line. It says so in my deal.
Jeez, what a pig.
You want to know where that long pass came from for the West team? This man who took the ball out of bounds and threw the thing across this way is the one who takes off and goes long. Mark Price is the guy that's supposed to pick him up in their zone defensive alignment. What happens is, on the pass across, the takeoff, Price doesn't see him go long, too late. Now he has to foul to prevent the easy layup.
Good view of that from the sky cam. Here's a look at the scores. Price has 19, second to Michael Jordan for the East. Jordan with 25. Karl Malone leads the West with 26. Robinson 19, Hardaway 16.
All these people on their respective teams are usually the go-to guys. Now you have a bunch of go-to guys on the floor together. So who's the go-to guy of the go-to guys?
The go-to guy, the main guy. What I would do is give it to Michael Jordan in a 1-4 situation. If anybody's coming to help, you kick it to that guy, you got a shot.
The nice thing is there's plenty of time here, provided you get the ball inbounds first. Plenty of time to make something happen.
No more timeouts for the East, so they have to get it in. 16.7 seconds. 24-second clock off as the East looks for a tying and perhaps a winning play.
And the last two times, they've had a problem getting the ball inbounds. I'm talking about the East team. It has not been easy. The West has done a good job of zoning up areas and taking cutters coming to the ball out of their routes.
Jordan with Marley. Ewing is open. 8.1 seconds. 119, 119.
The ultimate in team player. The man who everybody in the building knows is going to take the shot and try and bring the heroics to himself. Instead, he brings two defenders and finds Patrick Ewing.
Nine assists or fifth assist. Oh, 9 for you.
Yeah, because they both came to him. Pick and roll. He's got to stop. Oh, right there. Ewing's going to come up, set the screen. Jordan's going to take it. He's going to create. Hold it. He's going to get this man and this man to play it. Let me draw twice. 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 Patrick Ewing wind up so free. First he comes up and sets a good screen. Then Jordan's going to create off the dribble. But he will get two defensive players to try and stop the ball in that area. Then Ewing steps back to the baseline. Two defensive guys. There it is, wide open. All you got to do is earn your money and put it in the bottom of the basket.
Magic, you know they call him the Czar.
That's right.
He's the Czar.
He just showed why.
You got a guy like that out in front, number 23, that can make things happen. It's a lot of fun for everybody.
Look at that, Riley. He's coached the last 10 minutes like he's Zubin Mehta. I mean, he's been a maestro on the sidelines.
Well, his natural reaction is, hurry up, get back, in case they try and rush him back down the floor.
And here's $1 million smile, Patrick Ewing, after he makes it.
Of course, you know, both teams want to win. But you know you want to be the player that makes it happen.
Steve Jones has been around the Western huddle.
Paul Westphal has set up a play for Karl Malone and Charles Barkley. The first option is Karl Malone, and if they don't get it, they'll try to lob to Barkley at the basket. They all know they have no timeouts left. We could see overtime.
Marley will inbound the ball with Jordan on him. Now Jordan backs off and will double team the inbounds man. Stockton knocked away by Ewing. Out of bounds to the west.
The East team can't believe that there was any deflection on that. Their feeling is that Stockton just lost it on his own.
A little over 5 seconds.
Now here will come the problem in an All-Star game because no timeout. So now what's going to happen? Who's going to get the ball here?
Barkley. Hardaway. Hardaway. Overtime.
Oh my! I got your fan. This is great. The crowd is loving it.
Mark Price just looked over here and gave a look as if to say, can you believe this? He's having fun on it on the floor. A little curl move by Stockton gets him free. He draws the defense of the East over, and it's there that he loses the basketball off his hand. The East team was right. They had it going their way. Problem is the official had it going the other way. Now on the quick inbounds play, it's the swing over to Hardaway, who steps inside, tries to go underneath and scoop it up. Just can't buy it at the end.
Pat Riley reacting. This 43rd All-Star game is a classic. Well, Wayne and Garth and they're patient guys. Saturday Night Live, a music a go-go and lots of comedy as well. Favorite dudes hosting that primetime special, and they're holding on right after overtime from Salt Lake City. So stay with us. Eddie Murphy, Steve Martin, Bill Murray, Springsteen, Whitney Houston, Clapton, Nirvana, REM. It'll be a terrific show. As this one, the 5th overtime game in 43 years. 4 of those have been in the last 14. So things tightening up East and West, and a rally by the East orchestrated by Pat Riley.
And I was involved in that last one in '87 where Rolando Blackman got fouled with no time on the clock. He went up there and hit 2 free throws to send it in overtime.
In fact, it was Isaiah Thomas who walked up into his face before the foul shot, said a little something to try and distract him. Blackman knocked them both down.
Shaq O'Neal comes in. The East was never ahead that entire 4th quarter, but managed to tie.
Hey, what's going to happen now with this MVP voting, huh?
There's a rumor going around. Oh, new sheets are being handed out, so it's going to start all over again.
Yes.
Stockton on Isaiah. Malone underneath. Taken away, and Jordan to Marlin. Barkley passes up on the 3. 5-minute overtime period. Ooh, Thomas gets thrown down by Malone. Let's check on the foul.
Well, first, let's check the extra effort by Jordan going into the crowd to try and save that one back over his shoulder. Pick and roll situation set up that time.
Foul was on Ewing of the East, his 3rd.
We'll have both big men in there, Ewing and Shaquille, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here.
Malone gets away from Ewing.
Well, I think he's a little too quick for Patrick. Patrick's not used to playing a quick power forward. He's used to playing centers who's a little bit slower than Karl Malone.
Now Ewing's turn. Oh, a tough 10-footer.
Patrick is used to doing that. Turn the baseline, shoot that jumper.
11 points for Ewing.
This is why this is the All-Star game. You get to see the best perform at their best.
Jordan around Robinson, who does a little dozy-do, and around you go to save the 2 points.
The guy that actually made that play happen defensively was Michael Jordan. He made believe that he was going to go away. He hung in there just long enough, then started to go away, and then came right back again, anticipating the post pass, came up with the deflection.
Robinson did the right thing, fouling before he got into that lane.
1 minute gone in the overtime period. Jordan playing, remember, with 5 fouls. And he gives the East the lead. 123-121. 27 for Jordan.
Isaiah is smart enough to know to give the ball to the right people and get out of the way, and they're going to make something good happen.
Well, Isaiah wants to win. Isaiah wants to win. He understands that Michael just do his thing.
Barkley against Pippen. Marley, a 3-pointer. And Marley gives the West the lead. 124-123.
He's making Michael Jordan pay for cheating. You can't go double team Charles Barkley with Michael Jordan, or that's what you'll get right there.
Shaq O'Neal. Robinson rebounds and O'Neal fouls him.
Shaquille was just disappointed that he got that close, basically overpowered the post position, and then just plain missed the layup. But Michael Jordan with the basketball now, he gives a little show, and then let me step underneath and just kiss it off the front of the rim and hope to get a nice little roll.
The West by 1, and Stockton goes the distance. The West by 3.
Oh, Barkley stepping right back in on the inbounds pass. If you rush out of bounds and you don't concentrate, smart defensive player takes a shot at it, that's what happens.
Barkley and Ewing. And it was O'Neal made the block. And a foul. Pippen committing the foul.
Everybody trying to get a little piece of Charles down below right there. Sends a big fella to the ground.
They're playing hard. The winner gets $5,000. The loser, $3,000. That's pocket change, tip money for these guys. But they're playing for competitive pride.
If you don't take your time and you rush it inbounds after a score, don't pay. Barkley makes believe he's going down, but then shoots the gap and comes back for the steal.
Michael Jordan trick.
That's who we got it from.
Malone misses both.
Ooh.
It remains a three-point lead. 2:35 to go.
I might get Mark Price up and get him ready right now.
Jordan to Isaiah for 2. Ewing. Patrick Ewing. 126-125. The West with the lead in the ball. 13 points for Ewing.
Now, when
Stockton left alone.
they've been running the same play over and over, just that pick and roll. They might use different men, but it's the same play for the West. And now the East is going to give their version of the pick and roll.
Less than 2 minutes to go. Ewing over Robinson. Robinson got a piece of it. Barkley embraces the rebound.
Well, that time when he screened and stepped back, it was much deeper than the previous times. Before, it was a 16-foot jumper. That time, a 20, 21-foot jumper.
4 Olympians in white for the West on the floor now. Stockton to Barkley for 3. Sir Charles. Timeout, Pat Riley in the East.
Charles has been basically quiet for most of this game, but when it comes to dramatics, he can do it, and then he can celebrate at the end of it. Once he knows he's made it happen, he loves it.
That's his birthday dance. Charles was 30 yesterday.
And we finally got a little reaction out of Paul Westwall then, too.
Yeah, Charles stepped on him a little bit just to remind him about those free throws he wouldn't let him shoot.
That gives the West a 6-point margin with 1:28 to go. How can Riley in the East muster another come from behind? Picked off by Ewing. Jordan. O'Neal. Taken away by Malone. Stolen by Pippen. What a reaction by Scottie Pippen. Ewing. A steal by Pippen. No wonder he's all NBA defense. Riley with Ewing and Shaquille on the floor, and Westfall has his big guy Barkley along with Marlon.
I wonder if they've changed their defense on the pick and roll. If they might there it is. They're out trapping, trying to get the ball out of his hands.
Less than a minute. Barkley stolen by Michael.
Good pick by Isaiah.
To Pippen and a foul. Robinson reaching in.
I tell you, John Stockton would have had that steal, but Isaiah, with his spark, picked him off.
Covering a great amount of distance on the pass that's a little too soft, a little too high. Scottie Pippen gets back and gets the offense going for the East team. And now this time on the reverse from the blind side, there's the hand in by Michael Jordan, which leads to the fast break opportunity.
50 seconds to go. A 4-point deficit facing the East. Jordan trying to cut that in half. Shaquille. Stockton. And timeout called by Stockton, who is pinned in.
East knows they must come up with second shots if they miss the first one. Shaquille trying to get the offensive board. Goes up. Malone goes up. Shaquille throws call down. And after it, he goes and double teams Stockton, who says, I'm out of here. Timeout.
So with 39.6 seconds, O'Neal and the East trail by 4.
Well, they got a foul as soon as they pass it in. Really, the East has no time to they can't let time go off the clock. They got a foul right away.
Used to tell the players, try for the steal in case you come up for it. But if you don't come up with it, you've got the foul immediately.
And with that team they have out there, especially you're talking about Pippen, Jordan, and Isaiah, they could come up with a steal. And also Shaquille can get in that passing lane.
Ewing too. So they got some good defensive players out there in blue. Foul, Pippen on Marley. Marley in the game. He is 1 for 2 from the line. 16 points. Chance to build the West lead to 6 with 35.5 seconds left.
Marley, pretty good free throw shooter, 77% for the regular season.
All West Falls players here in overtime. Marley and Barkley imposing on the East. Now it's going to take a couple of trays for Riley's Eastern team to tie it. Isaiah or Price are in with Pippen, Jordan. Jordan himself could take the 3, and Ewing. Price has tried 8 trays and made 6 today. That's an all-star record for Price. Good exterior defense. Jordan with 28 seconds. Oh, line drive.
How do you shoot a 3? Go to your left, fade out of bounds, defensive player on, you're getting smacked a little bit and still knock it down.
Because he's Michael Jordan.
30 points for Jordan.
Yeah, well, Riley said, let's go through Michael Jordan. They certainly did here. Hand in the back, a little bit of a push, fade him to the baseline, in the hole.
Jordan, who has the highest scoring average in All-Star history, 21. Listen, I'm going this way with you, Michael. Right this way.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting to see that Pat Riley is pulling for him and his teammate so hard today, and then tomorrow they add war.
They meet in the Eastern Conference Finals, he will be pulling for.
There you go.
Hardaway needs one of these 2. To give the West a 4-point lead.
And there goes Isaiah talking to him. Isaiah's chatting with him.
Somebody better make sure they box out in case it's a long rebound. Isaiah may be on the line instead of Mark Price in this situation.
Hardaway is now 9 for 11. Oh my! Ewing with a rebound. Here comes Price. Plenty of time.
They're going to flow into now the shot attempt.
Stolen by Stockton and then almost taken back, but a foul. I believe it was Price.
What happened that time is Price had penetrated so deep that I think his players felt he was going to go in for the score. He, understanding what the score was on the clock, was trying to kick back out to Isaiah for the 3. That's with a bad hand. Look how deep he is. Is he going to shoot? No! And the hand by Stockton gets the deflection, and then the basketball.
Another thing, Mike, John Stockton tipped the ball away from Isaiah and made it hit, I think, his right hand, and then he couldn't recover to go get it. Good move by John Stockton. Good defense.
13.5 seconds. 3-point lead. David Robinson is 5 for 8 from the line. So 3 straight misses here in the final seconds by the West, and Mark Price goes over, and Pippen says something to Robinson.
Well, they double-teamed him that time. But a lot of stuff in his ear.
Yeah. Robinson's 20th point gives the West a 4-point lead, 134-130. All-Star World to Wayne's World right after the final buzzer. All right, snapper, 4-point advantage. Pippen will inbound the ball from the near sidelines. To Price, forcing the three. Robinson rebounds, and that should do it. 9.2 seconds.
Well, that time when Price came up open, but he stumbled when the ball was coming to him, and he couldn't regain his balance. And too bad, because he had a good look and he was open.
It's so difficult to get the ball inbounds from a side out in the NBA because of the great athletes, because the defenses are so good, and the coaching in the timeouts is normally so good during the season. That's why the execution becomes so important. It's inches when you're coming off the screen, where the ball is passed, and a little stumble that time cost them.
You know, and when I played in All-Star games and the game was tight, sometimes you wonder, what, these guys all are the go-to guys on their team. And I wonder how Michael felt when the play wasn't designed for him.
Scottie Pippen throws the three. Batted out by Stockton with 3.6 seconds. 5-point deficit staring at the East. Certainly made it a battle. Weren't a lot of loose smiles around. You saw Mark Price just moments ago. That's the kind of smile you saw a lot of in most All-Star games, but not today. It was tense. Co-MVPs, you got your wish. 1993 All-Star MVPs, John Stockton and Karl Malone. A Utah Jazz parlay. Malone had 28 points, 10 rebounds. Stockton, 15 assists and 7 rebounds. The final goes to the West by 5, 135